Hey guys, welcome everybody. Welcome to the next podcast on our Runners High with Bala podcast with fellow runners series, episode 6 of season 5. As always, I have the next set of three super good human beings, super good runners, folks I've gotten to know very well over the last 1 year or so, intricately. It's always fun to do this because I get a chance to now talk to them about the journey. So, without much further ado, let me allow the runners to introduce themselves and then we go from there. Please go ahead.
Hi, I'm Dr. Vijay. I'm a physician based here in Western Massachusetts. I am currently training to be a nephrologist. Before this, I was an internist for almost 10 years. I come born and brought up in Salem in Tamil Nadu, and I went for my medical schooling in Chennai and Stanley Medical College. And I actually first came to US in 2000 to do research. Was here until 2002 doing my research in southern Mississippi, and then I went back home and back again in 2008 for my medical residency in Philadelphia. I was there for like 4 years before I moved to Western Mass here. I'm in terms of my physical activities, right from school days, it's been fun activities like play sports, your backstreet cricket. That's what it was. And same thing continued in college, basically recreational sports. For the last few years, though, I did take up some swimming in a recreational come physical fitness way. And here I am. And in terms of family, yeah, wife who is also a doctor, and two kids, 11 and 6, they are in school.
Wonderful. And which hospital you're working, doctor?
I'm here working here in Bay State Medical Center. It's like the biggest referral center here in Western Mass. We serve almost the entire Western Mass population.
I see. Very nice. Welcome, doctor. Really glad to have you. I also have to tell the audience that, having doctors like Dr. Vijay, Dr. Raghu, Shalini, it's a blessing for this group. They give so much of their time and also their, medical advice to us. I feel very comfortable because of presence of, doctors, because I can always ask them. Even in, I remember when I had an issue, Dr. Vijay went out of his way, did all the research and gave me so much of information, and I've been following that too. And of course, I'm trying to part that information to all of you too. So thank you, doctor. So glad.
I want to volunteer here. Like, if any one of you has any issues, I'm in the group. Feel free to, send me a private message. It's my absolute honor, and it's a basic my courtesy to do this help to you to help out of any medical issues that may come in your training.
Amazing, doctor. Thank you. I mean, I hope everybody heard that. Dr. Vijay, he is there in our WhatsApp group along with other doctors, and he means what he says. Just ping. Don't feel, even if you haven't interacted with him personally or anything, just ping and say, hey, I am a runner in Runners High group. I'm having this blah, blah, blah problem. Can you just give me a personal thing? And you can even, call him and talk to him. They will be more than happy to do that. That's what the speciality of this group is. Thank you, doctor, for saying that. And welcome to this podcast. Let's invite the next guest.
Hello, everybody. This is Jagdish. I live in South Brunswick, New Jersey. I work in Princeton for an insurance company, Munich Re Insurance. I support their backend system for HR, finance, and we have some other stuff also in the group. So I was born and brought up in a very small town called Bhandara, which is close to Nagpur in Maharashtra. While growing up in the school, I used to play some athletic activities, not a whole lot. I represented my school for kabaddi and volleyball. And then I went to a college in Nagpur we called VRC. It's a engineering college. And fast forward, I came to Mumbai for a master's in IIT Mumbai. While working for a software company called Patni, I got introduced to a hiking group there in Mumbai. And that's when I started a lot of my athletic activities. While in Mumbai also, I did a amazing bicycle trip from Mumbai to Goa, and that was on the coastal side. The whole idea was just to look at all the forts on the way. Came to US, of course, on the work visa, and then settled down in New Jersey. Didn't have much athletic activities going on while in New Jersey until I joined this group. On the family side, I had wife and 2 kids. My wife is into swimming, and while she was growing up, she also joined in Nagpur. She was part of Vidarbha Women's Cricket Association. She used to play games and matches for that.
Wow.
Both of my kids went into swimming. They excellent swimmers. They went at the elementary or not middle school. They went to Junior Olympic, which is a state level championships. Uh, they participated in something called as competitive swimming, and I used to drop them at Princeton University pool, Denanzio pool. That's an excellent pool for swimming. And of course, they got into swimming from my wife. She's also a good athletic nature, so I'm fortunate to be part of the whole athletic family here.
That's,
And then rest is kind of history, how to join the running group and all. We'll come back to that.
that's awesome, man. So you have now, given your own stamp of authority in your athletic family. And that competitive swimmer, there's the last time I talked to one of our runner, Sriram. He was a competitive swimmer as well in his younger days. I'm sure, he will have a special respect for what your kids are doing and what you are doing as a parent to support someone doing this competitive training. You said some 6 out of 7 days they have to swim in that place or something, right? 3-4
They
hours.
basically, yeah, exactly. The same routine that we have for the running, it's almost like 2 to 3 hours a day. They go for that swimming and 6 days a week. And plus on the weekends, when we go for those games, they are like, we have to travel like almost an hour or 2 hours. I mean, that used to be fun. We are like, our group, the swimming group was about 12, 15 kids. We cram them into 2 or 3 minivans, go there for our entire day used to be gone in that matches, their games, their swimming competitions and all different places. So that was the entire, a whole week used to be busy with that one. Yes.
That's what I wanted to bring it up to the audience, guys. So if you want to do anything substantial, anything that you're proud of, anything you want to do proud of in life, there's one thing that will always be common, and that is dedication and doing it over a period of time. Just doing flash in the pan, 3-4 days, doing amazing doesn't mean anything. You are just 3-4 days, you're good. But if you want to do something really good that stays for a long time, it's dedication and commitment over a long period of time. And as 3 runners, you know exactly what I mean by that. Only if you do that, and it's just an example from some other part of life. All newcomers, remember that. And you are already doing so well. You're already in the middle of the next training phase. The business end of a training is coming, right? So whatever you have done till now is already amazing. Now you need to ensure that you maintain that intensity for the next part of training, next half of training. And that is when great things happen. Thank you, Jagdish, for sharing that. Let's introduce the third guest.
Hi, my name is Jalaj. I live in Plainsboro, New Jersey. I work for a software services company, Infosys, in sales and business development. My job is a very fun job where I have to dine and wine the clients. I'm in travel and hospitality vertical, so I travel to Vegas and Miami and just drink and eat. I grew up in Chandigarh. I'm a Punjabi, and the love in our family is shown mostly by offering us to eat very delicious food. The more we eat, the more love we get. So I was not very athletic in my school or college days. Once I tried to run when I was in college to impress a girl, and I finished last, and that was it. I didn't dare to try again. I used to play a little bit of cricket in my veranda of my house, and that's it. When I joined IBM, I was in sales program there, and they used to have something where they will take us every quarter to climb mountains or whitewater rafting or a lot of fun activities or climbing mountains. But that was not my cup of tea. I used to hate that. I used to pull my teams down. But I survived that part. I came to US in 2003 through a software company, and since the time I've come to US, I live here with my family, wife, and kids. My athletic activities are mostly to drop my kids to their fun activities. My son is playing soccer, and my daughter plays golf and tennis. My wife also does some Pilates, but I never got time to spend on myself. So I never, did any athletic activities. I did do some yoga and some golf over the weekends. Um, I also have two sisters who are in India, and they have also joined the running group along with me. So that's about me.
You should tell their names too. I'm sure others would identify.
Yeah, Himali and Sugandha.
They are into the second season, and they started off well. I think they are en route to a half marathon as well at some point in the future. Amazing. By the way, are you still running to impress any girl, or that thing is not there anymore?
Now I'm trying to impress my daughter and my wife, who are not very
They are a
successful.
girl too, so that's good. That's very good. That's very good. Very nice. Hey guys, welcome, welcome. Really cool to have you not only join the group, but here as the podcast. This we can always watch this 20, 30 years later too, and have fun seeing this. So let's start with my next question. We'll start with Doctor this time. Tell me about how did you decide to do a half marathon? I mean, you did all this, you're a doctor, you're busy, you're not athletic, and suddenly I see you in our half marathon training program. How did that happen?
My search for a half marathon comes from the idea of an endurance aerobic exercise and the need for an endurance aerobic exercise as a stress buster. So as you all know, most of us have come through like have been either educated or coached by our society to be stressed out for results sometimes, stressed out over circumstances. So stress becomes a second nature. And so my search for a stress buster went in two directions. One is meditation and yoga. The other is for an endurance aerobic exercise that would eventually be a half marathon. So that's how my search started. I've been actually searching for it for the past few years before I actually came across this. My searches were basically online and tried to do some, cookie cutter searches. But I realized, being a doctor, that this stuff cannot be done by a cookie cutter online recipe. Yep. Because this endurance involves significant risks, putting your body through certain stresses, which if you don't do it properly, you will injure yourself. Yeah. So I waited, and fortunately, my wait was answered when my classmate from medical school, Shalini, and we are actually in a WhatsApp group, Stanley 93 batch. We joined Stanley 93. So she put it out that, hey, we have a friend that's coaching us for half marathons, and that was my voila moment. So even getting into this, like, I was not prepared for this kind of an intensive, almost one-to-one regimen from a coach. This is exactly what a doctor would order as a stress buster in terms of taking you through an endurance training and making sure that you don't risk injuries on the way. So that's why I'm here.
Wonderful. So glad that you joined like that, Doctor. Very nice. Jalaj, how did you get into this?
So I actually joined this group so that I can eat more. As I told you, my job is like that, and my wife cooks delicious food, and I always used to have that guilt feeling while eating that I'm putting on weight, and I was surprised why I'm putting on weight. So I met Bala through a common friend on a New Year's Eve, and he mentioned, what are your goals? And I mentioned that I want to eat more, but I want to lose weight. I want to be fit. So they mentioned about Bala and his running group. I thought about, I didn't think much, honestly. He mentioned this guy's a big pain. So I was at a point, I said, okay, let's see how much pain it is. Let's take it because it might, get me to my objectives of eating more and stay fit. So.
It's so true. I remember, guys, audience. I remember when I know Jalaj as a friend. We've been in, often on contact, not over running at all. But when the discussion of running came, I remember once when Jalaj said, "Hey, Bala, I want to join this too." And I said, "Why do you want to join?" And he was like crystal clear. He said, "I want to lose weight and I want to eat things that I without feeling guilty. That is it." I said, "Man, these two are perfectly achievable goals. But it is a heavy duty running training. That involves a lot of pain, involves a lot of commitment. He was like, pain, no problem. I can take any pain as long as there is somebody to force me to do it. If somebody tells me, I will do it. And I loved it. Because you see, this is what I tell many newcomers too. There is a time. There are times in life when you have to think and make an informed decision and all that stuff. Then there are times when you just have to go by gut instinct and just go with the flow, And let's say you have a coach who is saying that, dude, I've been doing about for 100 runners. You are the next 50 runners batch. You can do it. I think you can do a half marathon. Even though your mind and body says, man, I can't do it, you should just jump in. What will happen? Worst case scenario, what will happen? You might just not be able to do in the middle and then come back to a 5K. That's all will happen, right? Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to change. No risk. So there are some times like that. Kids do that all the time. The difference between kids and adult is this. Kids don't think too much. They are in the current account, checking account. They are not in the savings account. They don't put their emotions and save and think about it. If they feel good at the moment, they just jump in. And I think Jalaj did that, and rest is history. And we'll talk about what happened as a result. Thank you, Jalaj. It's a very great example for others. Jagdish, what about you, buddy?
So I believe last year in May or so, I was talking to my friend Aniruddha Joshi, who also joined this season here in S5. But I was just chit-chatting with him. We actually, both of us grew up in the same place, exactly same look, same town, same place.
I see.
So know him for a long, long time. So I was just talking to him. I said, what's happening? Like the COVID has hit everybody of us. So people are using the time for different things. So it came to the sport or athletic activities, what else you are doing. And then it came to running. I mean, during the chit chat, and I said, that's something that I probably could never do it. I mean, I was doing bicycling, hiking, and all different type of things were okay. Running is something I have failed miserably twice. I did treadmill runs in the gym and all, but I hate those. I just cannot continue I can't call myself as a runner when I do treadmill runs. No offense to anybody who likes treadmills. Okay? So he said there's a group in Edison that if you want to give it a try, and then he said even Aarti and Ayush, his wife and his elder son, they are seriously joining us that group. I said, what? Let me give it a try. I have nothing to lose. I will try it out, and then if it works for me, it's nothing like it. So that process started basically like all Madhvi, and then everything started from there. And the whole thought process in my thinking was, maybe I can finish 5K at the end of the season. Let's go for it. There was no expectation as such when I was joining it. There was nothing in my mind. I was like, I have this time. I can probably use it to better something, which running I have never done before. Give it a try. If it works out, it will be good for me. Nothing worked out. Okay, fine. At least I have satisfaction that I have tried seriously something, and it didn't work out. That's fine. So that was how I joined this group, and rest is, as you said, it's a history.
Beautiful. See, that's the beauty of this sport, folks. There is no one path to the starting point of this particular thing. You see, there is a stress buster, scientific reasons for coming in. There is like want to eat well and reduce weight, two diametrically opposing factors, but want to achieve both of them. That was the reason for Jalaj. And here you are, third person, who is like, I don't know what I'm getting into, but you know what? Let me try it out. Nothing wrong in it. If I fail, I fail. No pressure, nothing, and just joining in. And all three have done phenomenal in running. That is the beauty about this sport. There is no one cookie cutter reason why people do it, but there are certain things that are common for all runners. That's what we're going to talk about, which is the next 16-week training experience. All three went through rigorous, even though the starting points and the rationale for it are different, they all have to do the exact same thing with the exact same conditions, with the 2-week rule, with somebody like me who is, if you miss 2 runs, I'm there immediately pinging what the hell is happening, or all the things that you're experiencing till now. These guys experienced it too. So let's go back and think about those 16 weeks, guys. This time, let's start with Jagdish again. How was your 16 weeks? Some highs and lows, few bullet points on that.
Sure, yeah. I would say in one word, the entire 16-week journey was just awesome. I mean, it was something that I never experienced in my life before, but it was really awesome. The journey was, has a lot of ups and downs. I mean, it just not a constant thing that was happening. There were highs, there was lows. Uh, Fortunately, the group really helped. Entire whatever, whenever somebody has lows or anything, group really helped us out come out of that lows. So for me, the first 2 weeks were very challenging because once I saw the program, I said, "Wow, this is not going to be that easy." But that also makes us motivation that because it is not easy, it may be rewarding at the end.
Yep.
So the first 2 weeks, like adjustment of your office life, your home life, everybody was home. So it was also a challenging thing. Both the kids were from college, they were down home. So adjustment to the life, finding time for doing these activities. And of course, first 2 weeks, we had some pains also. I mean, it's a natural thing that has to happen. But after that, I don't find any lows in the entire program. And the best part for me, we normally go to San Diego Beach for a lot of activities throughout the year. Mostly, it's a beach that we use for biking, mostly walking, not for running at all. But this is the first time when I got the 5 mile run, I said, "Oh, you know what? Let me run the beach. Let's see how it works out." That was the highest point in my life when I ran the whole 5K along that beach. And there is a section of the beach that goes very parallel to the water, and that was awesome feeling. It's about half mile or so. That was really awesome. The 5 mile, that was awesome. And after that, I didn't look back at all. Anytime there is a long run, okay, let's go to San Diego Beach. Let's finish it off. My wife used to come. She used to bike around there, and I used to go and just run. So it
Crazy.
was the perfect. It was really awesome. Um,
Beautiful.
that's what I would say. Yeah.
Awesome, Jagdish. I mean, you got the taste of it, right? Once you
Yes.
got the taste of it, after that, you're just addicted. Jalaj, how was your 16 weeks?
So my 16 weeks, Bala, was a roller coaster. When I started in season three, my nature is to tell everybody that I'm doing this, and I bragged about it, that I'm running a half marathon and all that, and to everybody around me. And I hit a, stumbling block there. I just started running. I ran a couple of miles, and then after that, I had a severe stomach pain, and I had to go to the ER, and what they found was stones in the gallbladder, and they had to remove the gallbladder. And I was like in a painful surgery for a couple of days in a hospital, and all my running plans were shattered. That was a big blow for me. After the third day, I was asking my doctors that I have a half marathon in April, and they were like, "No, you should walk slowly, and that's it. You can't run." So that was my only question, and I was very frustrated that I cannot run. What I tried to. So that was a big low for me. But then slowly, I gradually picked pace, and I finished. And the high for me was, Bala, when I crossed, seventh mile. Once in my previous job, my boss told me that he's running 6 miles today, and I was like, that in my wildest dreams, in my dreams, it was like 6 miles was the ceiling. And when I crossed the seventh mile in this training program, I was in my mind mentally, I was thinking I've superseded my boss. I'm running 7 miles. So that was like a real high for me.
Absolutely. I totally understand that. And also, folks, I mean, it is hard. This low that Jalaj was talking about, where medically, most of the times it's a medical injury, sickness that causes that, where your mind is ready. The frustration happens, when you start, your body is sort of ready, at least relatively speaking, and your mind is not ready. So you are like, man, I can't do this, man. I can't do 0.5 miles and all. It's impossible. Body pains. I can't get up in the morning, wear my shoes. So it is the opposite. But that is not frustration, because mind is what creates the frustration. It's not the body that drives frustration. So you're not frustrated initially. You just don't want to do it. And you're satisfied with that decision of not doing it. But the real pain starts when the other thing happens. When the mind is ready and body is not ready. That is when your mind cannot accept that fact that, man, I am ready to go for a 3-mile run, and right now with my gallbladder pain, muscle pain, knee pain, you name it. And your body is saying, sorry, buddy, I can't do it. So typically mind does two things. One, it creates the frustration, the really frustration, or it forces the body to run in spite of the pain. And that is when you don't listen to your body concept comes. And that is when injury becomes even worse. This is where the dangerous part of it is. So it is very difficult and hard time. And it takes a certain level of maturity and a certain level of, should I say, I don't know, greatness to come out of that frustration and again do that. That's what Jalaj did. That season was done for him. With all fanfare, he started, and I think he did a good 2-3 weeks, I think. After that, this happened. So 3 weeks means you can imagine his body was sort of, pummeled into shape and is sort of getting ready for the next phase, full enthusiasm and all that. And boom, all dreams shattered.
In fact, my wife told me to stop all this because she said that you've shook your body too much and all your stones are coming out now.
So it is possible. I mean, I'm sure we have a doctor here who can talk about that. But this is how people react. This is what people would say. Like, there are some runners in our group who did not say they are training for half marathon to their parents in India because of exactly these kind of reasons. Because they would then, any problem in their life, they would say, this is what I'm saying, don't go for half marathon training, kind of a thing. So to come back from that and do it again, starting from scratch, is a huge accomplishment. And Jalaj, congratulations for that, man. That was a big deal. Thank you for inspiring everybody with that story. Doctor, what is your experience, 16 weeks?
Yeah, mine was, starting, I was excited to run. And I would say that the first 4 weeks to 8 weeks was a challenge. 6 weeks, I would say, was a challenge because you start running the first mile, you start cramping up after the first mile. Then you have this mild sprains, so I was like troubleshooting with going back to, medical physiology, exercise physiology books, trying to read the difference between what is the pain of a cramp like, pain of a cramp, how do you differentiate a pain of a cramp from pain of a strain? The pain of cramp goes away if you stop, pain of a strain does not go away if you stop. So it was a learning curve. I was like troubleshooting as I was going, and in that learning curve, I realized that, crossing the 4 mile mark is where you are like going beyond the physical barriers. So I would say first 4 miles is the most injury prone in that way because you have to take it smoothly. But once you reach the 4 mile mark, that was a high and you reached an achievement, but it brought in a new set of challenges because now it's a mind game.
Yep.
Now, 6 miles, I've never done that before. 7, I've never done that before. So I knew as a physician, between my body and mind, now the battle is in the mind. Because your mind tries to tell you have never done that before. So to beat that was the second challenge. And when we surmounted that, that was the second high.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Very, very nice, guys. What lovely stories from the three of you. Okay, now let's go to your actual half marathon day. How did that pan out? Let's start with you, Jalaj.
So there were a lot of messages before the half marathon day that take it easy, just relax, just sleep, whole night and just feel normal and come over. So I was in that mode and I was trying to do that. But on the half marathon night, the night before, I just couldn't sleep. I was relaxed in my mind, but it was 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and I was not getting any sleep. And I had put an alarm for 6 a.m. in the morning, and I got up without an alarm at 5 a.m. So I hardly slept. And then while I was driving towards the half marathon place, I was wondering, I haven't slept much. Maybe I won't be able to do it today. And there were a lot of nervousness. There were a lot of thoughts coming in my mind when I was going there. And when I reached there, I saw Bala and all the others. There was a lot of energy in the group, and there was some stretching going on and all that. So I just joined. I was, telling myself that yes, I can do it. So, and then it started. We started with, Bala always says the start slow, conserve your energy and all that. And my first mile probably was the fastest. So much energy in the group, and I was running like. And then gradually it slowed down, but there were a lot of refreshments, a lot of energy, a lot of, things going on. So I think I did well up till, 7-8 miles. And since we were trained for 10 miles, I had that psychological barrier in my mind that, that is probably the best I would do. And after 10th mile, I was like really slowing down, and my 11th mile was probably the slowest. And then here Bala comes, and he he starts talking to me, starts making a video, and he starts asking me questions, and I forget about all the pain. And since he's running a little faster than me, I have to follow him. So I have to be with him, to answer his questions. So the last 2 miles, I don't know how I did it, but it just happened. And then I see the last 100, yards, and a lot of crowd, cheering, and I see the finish line, and I'm thinking, if I cross that, finish line, that Lakshman Rekha, probably I'll tell the whole world, I did this. So that last 100 yards will fill with excitement, thoughts about how I'll feel after I do it, and it just happened. And once I crossed the line, it was a real high. I never thought in my mind, that I would finish 13 miles. And I wanted to tell the whole world, yes, I have done it. So it was a real high I felt.
Amazing, Jalaj. What an experience. Personally for me, one of the reasons I've taken this and I feel great is I want to share in the journey of first-time marathoners, especially because it's always a life-changing. It was for me. And I take personal sort of pride in being part of the first-time marathon journey. Even before I became a coach, I've done this with many of my friends, like who do first-time marathoners. I'll say, you know what, I'm going to run with you. That means I just run with them through, forget about my pace and all. I will just run with them because I know that first-time journey is, it's a very invigorating thing for me to see that. So it was very pleasurable to catch you because, it was a long trail. So it was not easy for me to catch up with everybody. So that's why I was taking the video to capture those moments at many points. And it so happened that with you, I was able to capture the moment in your last couple of minutes or whatever of the race. And that was surreal. And I'm sure you enjoyed that video quite a bit, where we are literally talking. It's like a conversational pace at its best, where we are actually running the last half a mile of a marathon. And we are doing a video blog interview with that. And it was just
I remember that video for a long time, Bala.
Yeah. It's a very surreal video. It's fantastic. Awesome, Jalaj. So glad that I was part of that, literally in your last part of your 13th mile journey. Jagdish, what about you, buddy? How was your final day?
So, hearing for what Jalaj is saying, I definitely missed the group run on that day. It was something different. I just couldn't do it, but I am not going to miss it next time for sure.
Yeah. By the way, Dr. Vijay came from Massachusetts to New Jersey to be part of that group. Do you know that?
Oh my, it's a shame. It's a shame on me. That's what I'm saying. Next time, I'm not going to try to miss it. Yeah. So for me, it was definitely, I did it on Friday, and it was definitely a little bit nervous day for me, at least before that. On Thursday, I was getting a little nervous how I'm going to do it and all that. So you guys on the group run was on the DR Canal, which is the northern part of where I ran. So I was on the south part of the same trail. So I was used to that trail. So I decided I will use the same area that I'm familiar with. And I parked the car, has some nutrients and all that stuff. So I said, okay, I'll go south 3 miles, come back, and then go north, and then do kind of zigzag, and let's finish 13.2 miles. There was a checklist that Deepak has sent out. That was really handy, and I really appreciate that it came on the right time about what are different things people can do. And for the next marathon also, I think we'll all be using that checklist. It was really handy. So that really helped me. I started nicely with the training that program has definitely helped me. I was going nice until 7 or 8 miles. 8 miles is the one that hit me a lot. And for some reason, the cramps or some kind of slowness or something was happening. And so I had to a little bit walk, run, that rhythm that I had to do. But after about 10 or 11 miles, I was okay. Not the one that I expected. I thought I probably was a little faster than I should, but I couldn't. But that was something I couldn't even remember what I was doing at that time, because all I was thinking is, where is my finish line? Where is my finish line? And when I saw that, okay, this is where I'm going to finish, it was awesome experience. That's all I can say. I still remember that part. I mean, there was not a crowd or somebody like what Jalaj was mentioning or Bala you were saying. Definitely, because I was just imagining how it might have been if I had joined the group. It was just awesome feeling. There is no doubt. And the whole world, you can say that, yeah, you can call yourself a runner now, having finished that marathon, half marathon. So it was jubilant. So I was all imagining what I'm going to do now after I finish it, what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to soak my legs and everything, and Epsom salt, hot water in the tub, all that stuff. Just awesome feeling. That's all I
Very
can say.
nice. Congratulations. Congratulations. By the way, I call all of you the COVID runners. That means you guys haven't experienced the full race, real race, live race, you know. And when that happens, I'm sure it'll happen end of this year, definitely next year. It's going to be a whole new ball game for you guys. Imagine running with 5,000 more runners around you. And imagine let's say you do a New York marathon. I absolutely want you all to do a New York marathon at some point, or half marathon, because the entire city is there with like every 30, every like 300, 400 meters or 500 meters, there is like people, drums and, rock show going on, and there is like dancing, and it is just mind-blowing experience, when you run like big city marathons, especially Boston, Chicago, all those marathons. So you are in for a treat. From here, it is only going to be up and up and up in terms of your running day, race day experience, because you have now experienced the absolute ground zero experience, right? Doing it alone. And even then you are enjoying it. Then you can imagine, I'm sure you're going to join me this time for the final race at the same DR club. So it'll be slightly better than running alone. But then you are going to experience in actual race conditions are going to be very, very different. You'll do so well. Doctor, how was yours?
So yeah, I decided I wanted to join you guys. So I traveled down from Massachusetts to New Jersey. So I was down there the day evening. I met with Shalini and her husband Raghu, who happens to be an assistant coach here. And he gave me all the pep talk and gave all the tips to how to go about in the race. That was very helpful in terms of nutrition, hydration and everything. Next day, yes, it was like going with the runners, despite the multiple exhortations from our coach that go slow, go slow. Like I think it's the crowd ambience.
Excitement.
It pushes you to go a little bit more faster. You have to really have to aim to slow down, and all the help and all the support along the way. This organized half marathon was very helpful. In terms of nutrition and replenishment and everything. I think there was no issues going up to the 10th mile because we had trained for it. So after the 10th mile, I think around the 11 and a half mile, I cramped up a little bit. Then I saw Deepak and then he was like, hey, do this stretch. And then, yeah, I did the stretch, relieved the cramp and then went on. So when I finished, it was honestly, it was like one of my bucket list things.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if I'll have to do another half marathon, but I can always say, even when I'm 70 years old, I have done a half marathon.
Exactly.
That kind of a moment.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. It's not for the light-hearted. There is a reason only 1% of US population have done half marathon. There is a reason. It's not everybody's cup of tea that suddenly you decide today and then go and do it. And especially the way you've done it. It's not like you went and did it with barely any training and then went and somehow did it and then injured for the rest of your life. No. You committed for 16 weeks in a hard thing and did it. And, talking of always going up from now, even within Runners High group, audience, and the three of you here, it is a celebration weekend, typically. Unfortunately, you haven't seen that. We have a pre-race party, I hosted. Especially, of course, New Jersey runners only, but, I hear from a lot of runners that they will fly in. There are a few folks who are going to fly in for this time. That, it's still a fun thing, to meet. You've been with people, or all these people, and now you want to put a face to that. So we have a pre-race party where I provide you all a race day strategy, and then we discuss what we will do and all that stuff. That's what happens. Then a dinner or a lunch or something is arranged. Normally it's lunch because we want to break off. It's not a party as in like a typical dance party. It's a party where we just focus, meet each other and all that. T-shirts, all that is done, and then we go for the race. Early morning, we all go together to any particular race day, wherever it is, and we are in separate colors. So the whole race team know that, this color, because everybody will be in the race T-shirt and we'll be in our Runners High with Bala T-shirt. So everybody knows, man, this is a separate group, this is running here. And everybody starts cheering, they start shouting, oh, Runners High and all that, actual random people will start supporting, I'm saying. And then post the race, we all meet, the same colored T-shirts, we'll all meet, we take on the finish line pictures. And then we have post-race party, typically organized by in one of the houses. That is when we just go berserk. Even though everybody is paining, daru chalega, all kinds of things, and it's a celebration of 16 weeks. That is how typically this happens that weekend. I don't know how this COVID, this coming season end is going to be, but for sure, next season onwards, that's how it'll be. It'll be a celebration, and as part of the, from here only going up, those things are what that you can expect. The audience, I'm talking to the audience as well. Good stuff, guys. So now let's talk about health and other metrics. How has it improved, or has it improved ever since from the time you started to where you are right now? Jalaj, why don't you give some views on that?
Yeah, so earlier my motto used to be that don't skip the medicine. You can skip the food, but don't skip the medicine. Now I think I've come totally 360 degrees. And now I can skip the medicine, but I don't skip my food. So my motto, my goal is accomplished. I think I've reduced a lot of weight. I feel fit. I feel very happy. My mood is good, and apart from losing weight, I've lost, I used to take a blood pressure medicine, which I don't need to take now. A couple of other issues I had, those are all history now. So it's all guilt-free, fun, eating, drinking. And I'm looking forward to the party, Bala, you mentioned.
Yes.
And please keep a scotch bottle, especially for me, because I would love to drink there.
Of course, my dear. Oh, fantastic. Congratulations.
So I got my life back after this 1 year. This 1 year was like, it changed my life. 1 year back, I was struggling, and this year has I have no words to express.
Wow. So glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. Gift of health, running gives. And that gift will keep giving. There is no end to it. Keep on running, you will keep on improving. Beautiful, beautiful. Jagdish, what about you? Any improvements in health and general fitness?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, health benefit was inevitable. There is no doubt in my mind. So for me personally, I definitely lost the weight, almost like 20 to 25 pounds I lost.
Oh, wow.
Even in first 3 months.
Oh,
That's
wow.
it. And it was not the entire thing. Right after 3 months, like we started in July, August, probably not. I think we started in July.
Yep.
So by end of August, almost I lost it. And that's when even the annual checkup was also due. So when doctor saw the results, typically the lipid panels, right? He was like, man, everything is green. What did you do? Serious. This is something that he called me in the evening. It was around 6 o'clock.
Wow.
And that's when I told him about this whole running program, by the way. So I'm probably kind of pushing him whether he can join our group or not. But he was really impressed with those numbers. And the third thing I would say is about size got reduced. So it was a good timing. October we finished it. November was a Thanksgiving week, where you buy all those different kind of discounts and all that stuff. So it was really handy. So I had to buy some new stuff now.
Oh.
So, it was in a way, it was really excellent stuff, no doubt.
Inspiring, man. Inspiring. Congratulations, Jagdish. So happy for you. Doctor?
Yeah, so I'm totally not surprised by, what they're saying. Three things are a given, the improvement in mood from endurance exercise. 2 is improvement in your blood pressure numbers. 3 is improvement in your diabetes. Anybody that has diabetes knows you lose weight, you improve your exercise. Yeah. Some people, even diabetes disappears totally. So my personal story was, yes, I had my improvement in my cholesterol and lipid numbers. And as a bonus, I had this condition called gout, where your body's uric acid levels are elevated. And it's part of metabolic syndrome. It is related to hypertension, diabetes. You may not have the other ones, but you may still have a gout. So my gout numbers, uric acid levels improved just with exercise, no pills. And that was a surprise, because I don't see that written in any medical textbook. So, but it does make sense in the hindsight now that it is related to the other conditions, like, abnormal cholesterol levels and all that. So now it doesn't look like a surprise. Yeah, it should come down.
What a beautiful thing, guys. What a beautiful thing. And so good that, all of us got by some means of the right age, at the right phase of our age. If you're able to catch hold of this degradation of health around this time, then 60 years and 65 years when we were there, we are in a much better shape, as opposed to we have to catch hold of it right now. So that is the motivation that we need to spread this to more and more people of our age group, especially the youngsters, the kids. They get something very different from this. Their entire life can be made with this. they learn character and strength and that type of thing. But for our age group, this is the key. We don't care about PRs and stuff, but we care about health, getting that anchor down. Beautiful stories. Okay, guys, let's, I can keep going on and on. I don't even know. Maybe we spoke for 30 minutes. It just went by like that. Let's bring this home. Let's start with Jagdish. Few words of wisdom, few words of advice to especially newcomers in this season, and of course, other runners too.
Yeah, so what I would say is basically, do what I did. If I can do it, so can you. It's as simple as that. Just follow the program to the point. Don't miss your exercises, and the race day is also equally important. Don't miss it. Just relax and give somebody some race that it is needed. Be patient. Eventually, you are going to get to the goal that you want to achieve for sure. Just be patient. Be consistent, I would say, in your program, and then don't be hard on yourself too. So other stuff I would say is do invest in the gears that you want to use for the program. It's very, very important, as Bala and other people are saying in the program. Buy those gears, whatever you need. It's really, really important, so that you don't basically reduce your pains, your injuries, and all that what comes with that. So I would say if you follow the program to the point, you are definitely going to achieve what you want to set to, and you probably will achieve more than what you expect. And at least that's what happened with me. So
awesome, Jagdish. So true. Doctor?
Yes, I would, totally agree with what Jagdish said, in terms of the gears and everything, especially if in the beginning. And this is a structured program. And as I had mentioned before, as a physician's view, this is an endurance endeavor. We have to stick to the program. Otherwise, there's risk of injury. So let me warn you that you have to cross train all the thigh muscle, butt muscle exercise. They go towards strengthening your muscles and your joints. I've seen people not in this program, elsewhere, who have not done cross training. They just went for the half marathon, 4 half marathons later, they had their knee problems.
Correct.
Because now they realize that they did not do cross training. So you invest in the cross training. Strength training is as important as the endurance exercise, and follow the process. Go by what the coach says in terms of the break. Yes, after the long distance run, if you have to have a break, you have to have a break. There's no way around it. Otherwise, you will injure yourself. Yeah, this is a structured program. Follow it to the T, and you will have lots of benefits to reap at the end.
And I'm sure nutrition is another important part too, right?
Absolutely, yes. So nutrition in terms of carbs, free sugars, and protein intake. Be very mindful of that.
Absolutely. Thank you, doctor. That makes total sense. Jalaj.
So I read somewhere recently that this universe is a big energy exchange program, and you move from one life to another. You meet the same people in different roles, but the energy you emit is what you get eventually. So I think my advice to everybody will be to participate in this group. You will get a lot of positive energy from the group, but contribute your energy as well. Cherish everybody's successes. Don't worry however small it is. Maybe it's first 1 mile, first half a mile. Just cherish it, enjoy it, emit your energy so that the others can benefit and absorb others' energy. Other things like investing in proper gear, following Bala's program, all that will automatically happen. Just be in it. Just fully enjoy this program and make it fun for yourself. If you have a little humor, make it fun. You will feel like doing it, and just do it.
Beautifully said. Universe is a paradigm of exchanging an energy. More positive energy you give, more positive energy you get. And beautifully said. I'm going to steal that in my future weekend messages. And beautifully said. I absolutely agree. Especially newcomers here. My midweek questions or some comments or asking you to do, those are all sort of cues so that you guys can rally around it and provide some energy into the group and then take some energy back from the group. Very beautifully said, very nicely identified too. Also, another thing he rightly identified is no sort of small win is small win for the group. Okay. I could have done a couple of full marathons, but still I enjoy someone who just completed their first 1 mile run. And maybe in some cases more than what I would have gone and done a 20 mile run. Because I know, or we all know, how difficult it is for someone to do their first 1 mile run. We all have gone through that process, right? So we want to experience and relive that. So please share your that midweek boast. There's nothing, I mean, boast is maybe a slightly a negative word, but you know what I'm talking about. Share your successes, because you share it, we will appreciate you, but we also get excited and motivated by that. The idea that, as doctor said before, this game is 50% mental after a point of time. After 4 miles, it's mental game. So we got to start providing enough fuel for driving that mental strength and energy in a positive spiral. Guys, wow, what a fantastic discussion with Dr. Vijay, Jagdish, Jalaj. It's been a beautiful 30-40 minutes we have spent. I've learned personally a lot, so much from you all. You guys are professional video bloggers, I can clearly see. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot for your time, and thanks a lot for all the positive energy you bring to the group. And Dr. Vijay, thank you for saying that. Please feel free to reach out to me, and that's important. I just want to make sure that I bring that out again. Newcomers, you don't have to know him personally. I can vouch for not only Dr. Vijay, I'm going to say that for the other doctors, Dr. Shalini, Dr. Raghu, and Dr. Shailendra. These are the 4 doctors right now in the season at this point, and that community will grow. But I can vouch and I can say for them too, just ping, and they will ping you back. And then, I mean, on the side, you don't have to go in the group. And then any issues, they will talk as a doctor. But more importantly, they will also know that what you're going through right now. So you don't have to give any introduction, and they can help you. Okay. Thanks a lot.
So I want to say, Bala, something that anybody in the group who just wants to wine, dine, have fun, please personally reach out to me. I'm available all the time. Don't feel shy. We'll have fun.
Jalaj, I'm in. Okay, I'm in. We'll catch up.
Let's grill some food.
That is Jalaj's contribution. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everybody, and thanks for your time.
Thank you, Bala.
Thank you, Bala.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Go for a long
Jalaj,
run.
Vijay.
Time for a long runs. Take care, guys.